Be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. But what does it mean to be holy? Our first reading, taken from the book of Leviticus, gives us a whole list, a laundry list of instructions, a whole bunch of do's and a whole bunch of don'ts. So is holy just doing the do's and not doing the don'ts? Well, for the Jews, the answer would be yes. And unfortunately, this is still a message in our Christian culture today. Not only the message that is oftentimes preached from the pulpit, from the ambo, but also the message that is preached from the lives of Christians. Simply a message of be nice and do good. And this is the extent of what it means to be a Christian. I say unfortunate that this seems to be our message because I think it is one reason, maybe not the only reason or even the main reason, but one of the reasons why so many of our young people have left the church. If all the Christian message is be nice and do good, why do I have to come here to hear that? I know that already. I can get that from anywhere. I can be spiritual without being religious if all that means is be nice and do good. Holiness for the Jews was simply obeying the law, but it has to be something different for us because there was someone different for us. The novelty of the New Testament isn't simply new ideas or even the old ideas being repackaged. The novelty of the New Testament is Jesus Christ. The fact that he has come in the flesh, that he has lived, that he has died, that he has been raised again, and that he has ascended to the right hand of the Father. It is not just something different, but someone different. And does that someone have an impact on the message that we preach, not only from here, but from here as well? Or if he hadn't come, would it change what we say? Would it change what we do? Is he essential to our message, or is he just some sort of addendum, some sort of accessory to the message that we preach, and that his life really has no deeper significance? He is not simply to be a model or a teacher or an example for us, not just to be an addendum to the message that we already have come to believe, but he is to be at its very core. And missed a line. The law came through Moses. That's the one that the Jews follow. But grace and peace come from Jesus Christ. This is what he has new to offer to us today. Moses can only give the law, something that is external to us, something that we can attempt to achieve. But Christ gives us grace. And grace is not, again, something, but it is someone. It is his very presence, his very life that is living within us. And what is the most effective, the most immediate way for him to get his life into us but the sacraments, when he gives us his body and blood in the Eucharist, so that his body becomes our body, so that his blood pulsates through our veins, so that it is him that is living in us, loving in us, speaking in us, acting and working through us, that we become alter Christus. We become other Christs in the midst of the world, not just sharing his message, but sharing him. So what does this mean in relationship to doing good and being nice? In our gospel today, this, the clothing the naked and feeding the hungry and giving drink to the thirsty and visiting the sick and the imprisoned, what does this idea of living Christ have to do with us? Well, it's not simply what the Jews would do, trying to do good in order to earn God's love, trying to climb the mountain in order to eventually meet God face to face at the top. We're not doing good to earn love or doing good to avoid punishment. But nor is it the Christian message that we oftentimes hear, that we're simply doing good as a response to God's love. It's something even more deep and intimate than that. It is the fact that Christ is living in us. St. Paul would say that I have died with Christ and we have been raised again with him. that it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me. We have become a new creation. The old has passed away. Something new has come to birth. Are we living in that newness of creation? Are we allowing him to live in us, such that it is no longer us who is doing that good, but it is Christ who is working through us? It is the love of Christ that compels us. It is the love of Christ that consumes us.